Stability and working safely. Stability. As loading shovels can travel and work in congested areas where other vehicles and pedestrians are moving, the planning of any travel routes needs to take into account pedestrian movement. Where pedestrians need to share the same route as loading shovels, or any plant or vehicle, then a segregated walkway must be provided. Signs warning of plant movements are not a sufficient alternative, only an addition. Planning should also take into account changes to the ground surface, particularly in wet weather, as both the travel routes and work area can become slippery and firm ground turn into soft ground. High production rates means that operators may, after discharging a load into a vehicle body, reverse and turn at the same time whilst lowering the bucket. Overturns of loading shovels have occurred because the center of gravity has exceeded safe margins due to the raised bucket and turning action. The loading shovel should be traveled with the front bucker in the lowered position. Driving with a raised front bucket, particularly on inclines and uneven terrain, can cause the machine's center of gravity to be raised, and if it exceeds the wheel track, the distance between each set of wheels, can cause the machine to overturn laterally, sideways. The loading of vehicles, particularly high-sided types, should only be undertaken on firm and level ground. If a loading shovel is within a work area near to the edge of an embankment, a suitable barrier or earth berm should be provided that is capable of minimizing the risk of the machine from going over the edge. Operators should not rely on an earth berm from being able to physically stop the loader from going over the edge. The same requirement applies when a loading shovel needs to tip a load over an edge or into a trench. If a loading shovel is working near to an area with overhead power lines, they need to keep clear of them. Guidance issued by the Energy Networks utilities indicates what minimum distances must be kept from overhead power lines, and the higher the voltage in the power line, the greater the distance that must be kept. This is to reduce the danger of arcing if the machine gets too close to the line. In order to communicate with other workers or vehicle drivers, loading shovel operators have, although stayed within the cab, leaned out of the cab's side windows and inadvertently moved one of the operating levers normally situated on the right-hand side. This has activated a hydraulic service, leading to unintentional machine movement. It is now good practice to switch off the engine when exiting the cab. This can also eliminate the possibility of an operating or transmission lever being accidentally moved, causing again unintentional movement if the engine was left running. Loading transporting vehicles such as tipping lorries is a skill from which, if not undertaken correctly and the vehicle body is loaded unevenly, has caused vehicles to overturn onto their side when tipping their load at the destination point. When loading smaller vehicles, operators need to take into account that it is relatively easy to unintentionally overload the vehicle. Where vehicles are being loaded in a congested area where there is pedestrian movement, such as the drivers of vehicles being loaded, operators need to be aware of not placing too much material on the far side of the vehicle when loading. Overspill can fall onto those who are walking alongside the vehicle. All loading shovels are fitted with a rollover protective structure, ROPS, either the cab itself or an additional overhead bar. If the loading shovel does roll over onto its side, the ROPS frame can minimize, but not eliminate injuries to an operator providing the seat belt is being worn. Where a loading shovel is working on and around inclines and gradients, the correct direction of travel must be determined, as recommended by the loading shovel manufacturer, before traveling up or down a gradient. In most cases, the principle is that a loaded machine drives up a slope but reverses down, whilst an unladen machine reverses up a slope but drives down. If the operator decides to tip a load whilst the machine is facing downhill on a slope, they need to be aware that the machine is less stable, as the center of gravity has moved towards the front of the machine.